We live in a world that thinks it's rational, modern, and advanced. But what if I told you that most of the decisions you make every day don't come from your logical mind, but from an ancient, instinctive, and primitive part of your brain? Today, we'll talk about the reptilian brain and how it affects your life, your decisions, your emotions, and your relationships. What is the reptilian brain? The reptilian brain, also known as the R complex, is the oldest part of our brain. It's made up of the brainstem and other primitive structures. Its function is one, to survive. It doesn't think. It doesn't reason. It only acts. Fight, flight, dominance, reproduction, hunger, jealousy, possession. All of that comes from there. And even though we think we're modern, that system is still active. How does this affect men? As men, the reptilian brain drives us to seek status and dominance, compete with other men, protect what we feel is ours, woman territory ideas, react aggressively to betrayal. Have you ever had a woman ignore you and you feel anger, sadness, or a desperate desire to win her back? That's not your rational self. It's your reptilian brain screaming, invaded territory. And women? This is where it gets interesting. The reptilian brain in women is deeply tied to reproductive survival. She chooses the strongest, most capable, and most leading male. She rejects the weak, the insecure, the indecisive. She seeks protection and resources. That's why when a woman says, "I need a man who gives me security," she's not always talking about emotions. She's talking about a biological survival instinct. That's also why they are attracted to mystery. They are driven to test limits. They are fascinated by men who refuse to be dominated. The game of power and desire. The reptilian brain doesn't seek equality, it seeks hierarchy. This is why. When you are the one pursuing, she loses interest. When you withdraw, she becomes active. When you maintain emotional control, you generate attraction. Emotional power attracts more than pretty words, because the reptilian brain only understands dominance or submission. Redpill and the reptilian brain. Direct connection. The creators of Redpill understand this. This is why they tell you, don't beg for love. Don't kneel for a woman. Become the prize. Not because it's a game, but because the reptilian brain only responds to primitive language. Who dominates? Who leads? Who deserves? The trap of modern society. We live in a world that tries to deny biology. We are taught that everything must be 50-50. That we should talk about emotions and solve everything with logic. But when attraction, desire, and a partner come along, it's the reptilian brain that rules. That's why a bad boy who imposes his rules is more attractive than the available good guy. A woman with natural curves is more arousing than one with a feminist discourse. Tension, mystery, and risk generate more chemistry than logic and respect. How to use this information as a man. It's not about manipulation, but about understanding biological rules. Stop explaining your emotions. Go into silent mode when necessary. Learn to retreat without drama. Be unpredictable, dominant, but with purpose. He who masters his emotions masters the reptilian game. Conclusion: the reptilian brain is in all of us. Men and women feel it even if they deny it. The man who understands this stops being manipulated and starts leading. Not as an animal, but as a man aware of his instinct and his power.